Number 10. Wheatley, Portal 2. Kicking off our list is a final boss who's legendary not for his terrifying power, but for his truly terrific incompetence. Wheatley from Portal 2 is a masterclass in how to build a boss fight around a character. After you and a reluctant GLaDOS accidentally put this moronic little personality core in charge of the whole facility, he, of course, goes completely mad with power. The final showdown isn't a battle of reflexes, it's a battle of wits against a certified idiot. You're not dodging laser beams, you're redirecting bombs and trying to stick corrupted cores onto a flailing, panicking robot who's hurling insults at you with the creativity of a 5-year-old. The fight is hilarious, it's memorable, and it perfectly nails the game's sharp comedic tone. It just goes to show that a final boss doesn't need to be a giant demon to be legendary. Sometimes all you need is a power-tripping moron with a British accent. Number 9. Senator Armstrong, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Nanomachine, son! Come on, you've seen the memes. Senator Armstrong is the explosive, scenery-chewing, quote-spitting final boss that a game as wild as Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance deserved. This isn't just a fight. It's a philosophical debate where the punctuation is a continent-shattering punch. Armstrong is the walking, talking embodiment of American excess. A politician who literally hardens his skin in response to physical trauma. The battle is just pure, unadulterated spectacle. You're dodging chunks of molten earth, slicing up a giant mech, and going toe-to-toe with a man who might just be the most ridiculously overpowered politician in video game history. With the incredible track "It Has to Be This Way" blaring, the fight is a chaotic, exhilarating, and surprisingly thoughtful climax that has more than earned its legendary status. Number 8. Malenia, Blade of Miquella, Elden Ring. Let's be honest, few bosses have inspired as many controller-throwing tantrums, YouTube montages, and fan tributes as Malenia, Blade of Miquella. She's not just a final boss, she's a legend forged in the fires of frustration and admiration alike. Every Souls player knows her name, and probably still has nightmares about that theme kicking in. I am Malenia, Blade of Miquella, and I have never known defeat. The first phase is already brutal. Her grace and speed are unmatched, her waterfowl dance can wipe you out in seconds, and every time she hits you, she heals. But then, when you finally think it's over, she blooms, literally. The scarlet rot bursts forth, and she becomes the goddess of rot. It's one of the most jaw-dropping transformations in From Software history. This fight isn't just about reflexes, it's about endurance, learning her patterns, and mastering your fear. Beating Malenia feels like conquering an Everest of pure, elegant chaos. She's beauty, brutality, and brilliance rolled into one, and she's become the modern symbol of what it means to overcome the impossible.
My turn.
Number 7. Baldur, God of War. There are few boss fights that feel this cinematic, this personal, and this perfectly paced from start to finish. Baldur isn't just a final boss, he's the thread that ties Kratos' entire emotional journey together. From the moment he crashes into Kratos' cabin in that thunderous opening brawl, to the final battle years later, their rivalry becomes something primal, almost mythic. The last fight against Baldur is a brutal ballet of rage, frost, and fire. Every punch lands like thunder. Every counter feels like two gods trying to rip the world apart. What makes it truly legendary, though, isn't the spectacle, it's the emotion. By this point, you understand Baldur's curse, his pain, and his madness. You know this fight has to happen, but it doesn't feel like victory when it's over. It's tragic, raw, and perfectly executed. A finale that reminds us why God of War 2018 redefined what storytelling in games can be. This isn't just Kratos versus Baldur, it's fate versus free will, father versus son, past versus redemption. A modern masterpiece of final boss design. Number 6. Hades. Hades. The final boss of Hades is, well, Hades, Lord of the Underworld, God of the Dead, and most importantly, Zagreus' very, very disappointed dad. Every single part of this fight is a masterclass in design, where the story and the gameplay are fused together perfectly. The fight itself is a grueling two-phase gauntlet that pushes every skill you've honed on your way out of the underworld. But the little details are what make it a legend. The music, God of the Dead, is a thundering heavy metal version of the game's main theme, literally turning the father's oppressive anthem into the son's song of rebellion. And that moment, the first time you drain his health bar only for him to get right back up, refill it, and come at you even harder, it's a jaw-dropping twist that perfectly captures the game's central theme of try again. It's a fight with your dad for your freedom, and it is a modern legend. Number 5. Liquid Ocelot, Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. How do you possibly end a saga that spans decades of both real-world time and ridiculously complex in-game lore? Simple. A bare-knuckle brawl on top of a submarine. The final fight against Liquid Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid 4 isn't just a boss battle. It's a playable history lesson and the greatest piece of fan service imaginable. As the fight moves through different phases, the entire presentation changes to mirror the previous games. The health bars, the music, the camera, even the controls shift from MGS 1 to 2 to 3 and finally 4. It's a fistfight that literally takes you on a tour through the franchise's own legacy. This isn't about spectacle, it's about pure, unfiltered emotion and nostalgia. It is the perfect, exhausting, and beautiful farewell to one of gaming's greatest heroes, Solid Snake. Ganondorf, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. For a whole generation of gamers, this is the final boss, the template, the one everyone else is measured against. The showdown with Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time is the definition of epic. It starts with a tense game of death tennis, smacking energy orbs back and forth with your sword in a throne room as that iconic organ music swells. Then, after a heart-pounding escape from a collapsing castle, you think it's all over. It is not. From the rubble, Ganondorf emerges, using the Triforce of Power to become the monstrous dual-wielding beast, Ganon. Trapped in a ring of fire, your Master Sword knocked out of your hand, the final duel begins. It's a cinematic, multi-stage masterpiece that perfectly captures the hero's journey and set a standard that games are still chasing decades later. Number 3. Safer Sephiroth, Final Fantasy VII. There are bosses, there are final bosses, and then there's Safer Sephiroth. As the finale to one of the most beloved RPGs ever made, this fight is nothing short of pure, glorious spectacle. After making your way to the planet's core, you finally face the one-winged angel himself, a serene, godlike being floating ominously as one-winged angel, maybe the most legendary piece of video game music ever, announces the end of the world. Sephiroth doesn't just cast spells, he breaks reality. His signature attack, Supernova, is a nearly 2-minute unskippable cutscene where a meteor flies through our solar system, blows up planets for good measure, and then crashes into the sun that engulfs your party. It's completely absurd, ridiculously over the top, and utterly unforgettable. This fight threw out the rulebook and cemented Sephiroth as not just a great villain, but a true gaming icon. Number 2. Nemesis, Resident Evil 3. Most bosses have the decency to wait for you at the end of the level. Nemesis hunts you through the entire game. This hulking, trench-coated bioweapon isn't just a final boss, it's a persistent, terrifying force of nature that completely changes the way you play. The second you hear that guttural "stars," your blood runs cold. Nemesis can show up at almost any time, crashing through walls and turning a casual stroll down a hallway into a frantic fight for your life. He's faster than you, he's stronger than you, and oh yeah, he has a rocket launcher. While the actual final encounter is more traditional, his legendary status comes from that relentless, game-long pursuit. He is the ultimate stalker, a recurring nightmare that creates a sense of dread that very few games have ever managed to replicate. Nemesis isn't a boss fight, it's a horror experience. Number 1. The Boss. Metal Gear Solid 3: Snake Eater. The greatest final boss in gaming history isn't a monster or a god. It's a soldier, your mentor, the woman who was like a mother to you. The final battle against the boss in Metal Gear Solid 3 is a straight-up masterpiece of storytelling, a fight that's legendary not for its mechanics, but for its absolutely crushing emotional weight. Set in a beautiful, quiet field of white lilies with a 10-minute timer ticking down, you face the woman who taught you everything you know. There's no epic orchestra, just the sounds of nature and the grunts of close-quarters combat. The fight is intimate and personal, a test of the very CQC skills she gave you. But the real fight is emotional. By this point, you know her story, you know the sacrifice she's making, and you know that to complete your mission and save your country, you have to kill her. And when it's over, the game makes you, the player, pull the final trigger. It's a heartbreaking, profound ending that proves a final boss can be more than an obstacle. It can be a tragedy. For that, the boss is, and likely always will be, the most legendary final boss of all time.